Cybersecurity is incredibly important in the crypto space. And it's one reason that customers do have a tendency to trust companies that have a long track record like ours to take care of them and of their funds. I think, in the United States, it's important that companies like ours that are onshore continue to work with the government to try to root out bad actors in the space, but most importantly, that we take care of consumers.
Right. And Peter, is that threat, though, increasing as we see more interest, more institutional, more retail interest in cryptocurrencies?
I don't think it's increasing. I think state actors like the ones you mentioned have been active for quite some time. But I think the amount at risk or what's at stake has increased every single year. And you have to constantly be vigilant and constantly upgrading your security systems.
Right. And I want to talk about your latest funding round just announced this morning. I thought it was interesting in your press release. You took a little bit of a shot at Robinhood, its CEO, which is going to be testifying tomorrow. So just a day ahead of that, you said that more than ever, crypto is beginning to seem like the real Robinhood of finance. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is a market that everyone has equal access to, that everyone has a level playing field to. That you can connect to our order book the same way that Citadel, which doesn't trade with us for the record, but the same way that any other market participant would connect to our order book. It's a level playing field, and it's a meritocratic financial system for the internet rather than an old school system that's frankly a little rigged.
Hey, Peter, we're all sort of processing these headlines, the unsealing of these attempted hacks, according to the DOJ. I just wonder more broadly, though, without having to delve into the specifics of this case, whether at this point you see risk factors piling up more on the security side or just the price volatility side. Because some of the skeptics on the street, at least this week, continue to say as long as the price remains volatile, it will be a deterrent to long-term sustainable investment.
Yeah, I think we've been hearing that story for about 8 years. And over the last 8 years, the industry has continued to grow. More and more companies have come into the space. Institutions like, Bank of New York Mellon is getting into the clearing business. You saw some of the best macro investors in the world, like Louis Bacon and More Capital, take a very significant position in our company. And that volatility is still there. It's still with us, and it'll still be with us for some time as the whole industry kind of grows and matures. At that time, I do think that the security factors are going up with time, and that risk has to be very carefully managed. But I'm less concerned about the volatility because I tend to look at volatility over, a 5-year basis and where the industry has come from over the last 5 years and where it's going over the next 5 years rather than looking at it at a 5-hour basis.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.